I feel very neutral about this foundation. I don't feel like it's amazing, but I also don't feel like it's bad. So I forgot to turn my microphone on, so we're just gonna voice this crap over. So basically all I'm doing here is I am giving you guys the rundown of the foundation. It is a matte foundation. It is shimmer. Yes. It is similar to the Tarte Shape Tape in terms of consistency and application and everything like that. I'm going to leave a screen cap of the description of the product right here so that you guys can pause the video and read it yourself if you are interested in reading all the fine print on this product, of course. So let's talk about the application of this product. Pretty much it's pretty self-explanatory. Obviously, you use the large applicator, you apply it to your face kind of like you would with a concealer, and then I obviously used a sponge to blend it in because that's what I've been using it with. All in all, it's a really, really easy application. There's nothing super particular that you should know about this foundation. It is on the medium to fuller coverage side, so be aware of that. Maybe start with a little bit less and then add more if you need to, depending on what kind of coverage you like. I did find myself to go overboard the first time that I applied this foundation, and it turned out to be pretty cakey because I guess I didn't expect it to have the kind of coverage and consistency and everything that it did. But yeah, definitely I would highly recommend using a primer with this one. Since it is on the more matte side, it does tend to grab to texture, so definitely using a primer I think would really help, like a really good hydrating primer. Here I just applied the Strivectin primer, which is just the primer that I've been using recently, but after using this foundation over a period of time, I do think that a hydrating primer would be better. Here I am applying the foundation to one side of my face. This is the unprimed side of my face. You already saw me apply the primer to the other side, so we can see how it lasts with primer and setting powder on one side and then the foundation just by itself on the other side. And then obviously I took it down my neck as well and I'm just using a beauty blender to blend that in. I do not find it to blend any differently from the primed to the unprimed side, so the application is pretty self-explanatory, just like every other foundation. There's really nothing different or difficult about applying this foundation. Just like I said, be a little bit more light-handed at first and then add more if you need to. And then the last thing I would like to touch on before we move on to our first check-in of the day is that I did not find it to actually look much different from the primed to the unprimed side in terms of like smoothness and texture and stuff like that. If there was a difference, it was very minimal. The only reason I suggest a good primer is mainly for hydration. If you are on the normal combo to dry side, if you're on the oily side, you probably don't have to worry about it, but that's just my experience. So here you can watch me ramble and ramble about random stuff as I show you the unprimed and the primed side. The left side of my face, that would be my left, your right, is the primed side, and then the other side is the unprimed side. So this is before I put any concealer or anything else on it, so you can see the coverage and everything by itself. And then let's just move right into our first check-in of the day. What's up, guys? Welcome to my next check-in. I am standing behind my black curtain that is probably just covered in cat hair, honestly. Well, this part's not so bad. My cats sit on the windowsill all the time, and yeah, here's little Coconut. I call this her ragdoll mood, where she's in the mood to just be held the whole time. Anyways, this is where our foundation is right now. I wanted to get some natural light in for you guys. I set the left side of my face, this side, with powder. So we have this side primed and powdered, and then we have this side just the foundation. I set my under eyes with powder, but that's it, just to set my concealer. This is where we are right now. Like I said before, I feel very neutral about this foundation. I think that it definitely wears better being set with powder because I feel like it's sitting like in my fine lines and stuff like that. Oh, she's ready to not be held anymore. I feel like it starts to sit in like my smile lines and stuff like that, whereas on this side it's still sitting in my smile lines a little bit. I'm breaking up around my nose, but not as much. I don't know, it's like this foundation is good and it's a really nice foundation to throw on whenever you want to throw something on and you don't want to have to worry too much about like setting it and stuff like that. I don't think that this foundation would be good for dry skin so far because it's pretty matte. I'm also not a huge fan of how it looks on my forehead most of the time, if not all the time. I feel like it really
really accentuates the fine lines on my forehead. I have been wearing this foundation for about 4 hours or so. Yeah, about 4 hours. So that is where we are right now. I just got done eating, and I will see you guys in my next check-in. Man, I am really loving this camera. Alright you guys, so clearly I am wearing different makeup because I totally forgot that I had an event to go to tonight. So I had to get ready, but I did film a little get ready with me look for this look that will be up after this video, so keep an eye out for that. Make sure that you are subscribed. But I just wanted to do my final check-in for the night. My hair is acting a mess. This is where we are with everything. Again, I did have to touch up a little bit because I had this event to go to that I forgot about. So I did powder myself because obviously I wanted to look nice and perfect for the event. I didn't want my foundation to be blotchy, but it did start to separate. It did start to break up, especially around the nose area here and on the chin and the forehead and just everywhere that it normally breaks up. I feel very neutral about this foundation. I don't feel like it's amazing, but I also don't feel like it's bad. It's not my preference. I've been wearing it for the past couple of weeks just because it has like the applicator and it's just really easy to throw on, obviously, because half the time I do my makeup in the car on the way to work because your girl likes to sleep. So it is super convenient for that, but other than that, I don't feel like I'm a huge fan of it. It is only $12, so with that, it's kind of hard to knock because it's such an affordable price. But me personally, with somebody with normal to dry skin and with forehead wrinkles and stuff like that, it's not my kind of foundation. I feel like if you are younger and you don't have to worry about foundation sitting in your fine lines, and if you are normal to oily combo, somewhere in there, you'd probably like this foundation a lot more than I do. But with my experience, it is not my first choice and probably not something that I would immediately recommend to everyone else. So let me know if you guys have tried it down in the comments, and don't forget to hit that subscribe button before you leave, and I will see you all in Friday's video. Thanks for watching. Bye.